Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
All right, so I have many thoughts on my mind right now, and I'm hoping to streamline it all and bring it in one place. Hopefully, I don't miss out on everything that has been going on. And yeah, let's get started. I was reading about the 12 universal laws, the law of divine oneness, the law of inspired action, the law of attraction that all of us know, but that is a very small part and like the tip of the iceberg. It only works when you are living in accordance with the rest of the 11 laws. So people only know about law of attraction, but the reason why it does not work is you aren't applying the other ones which are interrelated. So ऐसे काफी laws है, law of rhythm है, and I out of all of this, the one that really spoke to me and became the reason why I want to come here and talk about it is the law of correspondence. And it states that your outer reality is a reflection of your inner reality. So whatever you are experiencing and whatever you are feeling is literally a mirror to who you are on the inside. And I know we've heard this time and again, but as always, this was the perfect time for me to come across that law and why it spoke so much to me because it reminded me of the times in my life when this law has worked beautifully for the good and for the bad. And right now, I feel it is showing me how much my inner state has affected my outer reality. That it is this vicious cycle where you want to change, but you depend on something on the outside to change you. But the whole reason why your outer reality is not changing is because your inner state is not at the best. And yeah, it really gives me that sense of responsibility and comfort at the same time, knowing ki external forces are not controlling anything. The societal systems are not controlling anything. None of it will determine the kind of life that I live and attract. It all depends on how I am feeling on the inside and how hard I am working to keep my inner self stable, happy, balanced, in harmony with who I am, and all of those things. And the more I see myself losing in touch with that soul part of myself, the more I can see my outer reality reflecting it. So it is a good wake up call that you are the one in control. You are the one responsible for everything happening around you. And it comes with a lot of responsibility, but it also comes with so much of comfort कि तुम्हें कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है बाहर के बनाए हुए लॉज के हिसाब से जीने की. एंड दैट इज समथिंग आई नीड टू कीप रिमाइंडिंग माई सेल्फ कि पैसा कमाने के लिए एक तरीका नहीं है, स्टेबल होने के लिए एक तरीका नहीं है, खुश होने के लिए एक तरीका नहीं है. आई डोंट हैव टू कीप looking on the outside for ways to live my life. And no matter how much I've been conditioned to think that way, I have to break those barriers as much as possible. So one was that, the law of correspondence that I really wanted to speak about. Then the law of rhythm as well, which is beautiful and talks about how there are seasons in life. Like how there are these seasons, winter, summer, rain, autumn, all of that. The same way there are seasons in life, and you'll see this pendulum kind of a situation where everything is going right and everything is working out for you. Then there's a point where you hit plateau and then you need to go backward, again reassess everything, and again the pendulum moves forward and you see the rise, and it is also compared to the rise and fall of the ocean. And that is just how the nature works, the universe works. And again, a very comforting thought when it comes to life itself. And when you understand that this is an inherent law and this is how the universe, the world functions, you can always look at setbacks and lows in life as well with such awareness and positivity. So, yeah, the most important aspect of the law of rhythm is knowing that during the low phases, you can't let the negative aspects get to you, but to understand that this is how life functions and what is the low phase trying to show you, and take it in as much of positive light as possible, and remind you of resilience, being consistent, or being क्या बोलते हैं, having faith even during that phase of low. So yeah, these two laws really helped me get my shit back together, because it has been shitting for a while. So, and no one else is responsible for it. I am. So, yeah, I feel like the law of correspondence and law of rhythm are the two that are really showing me what is going on in my life right now. So, yeah, there's that. I was also watching this video by another creator who was also going through a down, and spoke about how they hate self pity and seeing that in others, because it looks like a victim kind of a thing and taking away power from yourself. And I feel like I have done parts of that in the past year, and I don't want to do that anymore. I really want to be conscious of whenever I'm falling in that victim mode, and really remind myself about, again, the law of correspondence. Everything that I'm facing is a reflection of what I am on the inside. And if I'm lacking in that area, and if I've not worked on healing my inner self or understanding where all of my problems are coming from, and spending time with myself and having like read those really deep reflections and meditations, it will reflect in my outer reality. So one is that, and second is the law of rhythm and how life flows. This is how nature flows as well. And I need to be better prepared instead of pitying in any way. So, yeah, I know I have been doing that in the past, and I really don't want to be that person, even if it might show up. While I'm sharing my story, it becomes very tricky for me. Ki I want to share it because people might be going through the same thing. And if I am expressing self pity, I am not conscious of it in that moment. मुझे शायद थोड़े टाइम बाद रियलाइज होगा कि मैं ये कर रही थी, and then I'll speak about it. So I don't want people to feel like it is okay to not take responsibility of yourself and what is happening in your life. But at the same time, I know I am a flawed human. And when I go through these motions and these irregular feelings, I also want to be as raw as possible about it in the moment, so that I don't come off as this perfect human who's gotten everything together, but is still trying to understand life through her mistakes. So I want to portray my complete self who's still trying to learn and grow throughout this whole thing. So, yeah, while you see me making these mistakes, I hope you find the heart to understand that I am only sharing it because I feel someone out there will be able to relate to that specific emotion and that specific feeling. And hopefully, both of us will be able to find our way back together to a better and a healed version of ourselves with time. But that does not mean you need to disregard everything you feel. You can, in the moment, express all of it. And through that expression, you will become more accepting of yourself and address the situation with more awareness going forward. Sounds very confusing, but yeah, if I had never expressed how lost I was feeling in the past 1 year, I would have kept that emotion buried inside me and not address it altogether. So when things would go out of hand later and more complications would arise as I move on with my life, I would realize that there's so much of backlog that I haven't let out of my system, and it is keeping me stuck in the same place. So I'd rather just get it out and express it so that the dots connect later. Now, because I had expressed all of my emotions and feelings around how confused and lost I feel, now I have the answer to it when I find new resources, when I read about the law of correspondence and rhythm and about creators, and then I can spot that pattern that, oh my God, this is why I was feeling this way, and this is the reason to be able to heal with it now. And that could have only been possible because of my willingness to look at myself with complete transparency. So, yeah, not leaving the fearful parts of me behind, but looking at it with awareness so that the answer to heal those fearful parts come up in my life gradually. And when those answers show up, I have the ability to see that this is what I was looking for. This is the key to my problems. So, yeah, anyway, I don't know how much sense I made throughout this thing. It was quite chaotic, but we tried and we'll keep doing that. And hopefully, we get better at this podcast thing. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.
Free audio post production by alphonic.com.